Deadpool and Wolverine brings together two of Marvel's most unconventional heroes in a story that blends chaotic humor, emotional stakes, and multiverse consequences. The film begins with Deadpool living a dull and unremarkable life compared to his previous adventures. He works mundane jobs, struggles to feel relevant, and is haunted by the absence of Vanessa, whose importance to him remains a key emotional anchor. After a sudden multiversal disturbance, Deadpool is pulled into a reality where the Time Variance Authority needs his help. The TVA's interest in him comes from his unique ability to disrupt timelines in unpredictable ways, something that makes him both a liability and a potential asset. Deadpool reluctantly agrees, hoping that cooperating might give him a chance to influence his own fate and maybe even restore something he lost. When Deadpool enters the broken world where Wolverine resides, it becomes clear that this version of Wolverine is different from the one audiences are used to. He is a defeated, guilt-ridden hero who failed to save his world, a world now in ruins due to choices he blames himself for. This sense of failure gives the character depth and weight, contrasting heavily with Deadpool's frantic and irreverent personality. The two characters clash immediately. Wolverine wants nothing to do with Deadpool, dismissing him as an annoyance, but Deadpool insists that Wolverine is the key to fixing the situation. Their dynamic becomes a major pillar of the film, creating the balance between heartfelt storytelling and absurd comedy. One of the most interesting aspects of the movie is how it treats the multiverse as something fragile and deeply affected by the emotional decisions of its heroes. The TVA's intervention is portrayed as both necessary and questionable. They are dealing with a greater threat connected to the collapse of timelines, and Deadpool's involvement only increases the chaos. The film uses these elements not just for spectacle, but to show the instability of identities, destinies, and personal histories across different realities. The exploration of variants, broken worlds, and alternate paths gives the story a sense of cosmic uncertainty, while still keeping the focus on the relationship between the two main characters. As Deadpool and Wolverine continue through the fragmented multiverse, they encounter characters who reflect lost potential, past regrets, and alternate versions of themselves or their enemies. This includes different incarnations of Deadpool, each more ridiculous or dangerous than the last, emphasizing how unpredictable he can be when left unchecked. These scenes maintain the comedic energy, but also highlight that Deadpool's personality, when multiplied, can represent chaos rather than heroism. Wolverine's reactions to these encounters show that he sees clearer than Deadpool the weight of their mission and the consequences of failure. It also reinforces how grounded Wolverine remains even when the world around him becomes unrecognizable and absurd. Their journey forces Wolverine to confront his internal torment, and Deadpool, despite his constant jokes, often becomes the one attempting to break through Wolverine's emotional wall. Deadpool tries to guide him toward accepting that even a failed hero can still choose to fight. While their interactions are consistently comedic, the underlying emotional connection between them becomes the heart of the narrative. The movie uses their clashing personalities to express how grief and humor are two sides of the same coping mechanism, and how both characters use these tools to face the trauma that defines them. The villain of the film embodies a threat tied to the instability of timelines. Although Deadpool treats the situation with his usual irreverence, the danger is real and pushes both characters to stop running from their pasts. The antagonist represents the consequences of unchecked power and the temptation to rewrite history for personal gain. This element creates an interesting reflection of Deadpool's initial desire to fix his own life and Wolverine's attempt to escape from his failures. Both heroes must accept that altering the past comes with a heavy price, and that true redemption comes from confronting the present rather than erasing what came before. The action scenes highlight the contrast between Deadpool's chaotic, improvisational fighting style and Wolverine's brutal precision. Their teamwork evolves from reluctant cooperation to genuine partnership, and this progression is one of the most satisfying aspects of the film. The choreography embraces the violent nature of both characters while keeping the tone balanced between intensity and comedy. Each battle showcases their individual strengths, but the film emphasizes that their combined efforts are what make them capable of facing multiversal threats. Another interesting dimension of the film is its meta-awareness. Deadpool constantly breaks the fourth wall, commenting on the absurdity of the multiverse, the logic of corporate decisions, and even the actor's legacy. While these jokes are humorous, they also serve as commentary on the evolution of superhero cinema, the merging of franchises, and the expectations of longtime fans. Wolverine, on the other hand, serves as a grounding force who reacts to this meta-chaos with frustration or confusion, allowing the audience to connect with both the absurdity and the emotional sincerity of the story. As the film moves toward its climax, the stakes become personal rather than purely cosmic. Deadpool must decide whether he is willing to sacrifice his desires for the greater good, and Wolverine must choose whether he believes he deserves another chance at heroism. Their bond transforms from accidental partnership into genuine respect and friendship. The final confrontation tests not only their physical capabilities, but also their emotional resilience. Working together, they confront the villain and prevent the multiverse from collapsing, but more importantly, they confront the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. The ending is bittersweet yet hopeful. Deadpool gains a sense of purpose beyond his chaotic tendencies, and Wolverine finds a renewed connection to heroism without being defined by his failures. The film closes with the implication that their story may not end here, and that their friendship has opened the door for new adventures. The emotional resolution blends humor, heart, and closure in a way that respects the legacy of both characters while leaving room for future possibilities. Deadpool and Wolverine succeeds because it embraces the chaotic spirit of Deadpool while honoring the dramatic weight that Wolverine brings to every story he's part of. It combines action, comedy, emotional reflection, and multiversal spectacle in a way that feels both fresh and familiar. The contrast between the two leads becomes the core of the film's appeal, making their journey not just a rescue mission across timelines, but a story about redemption, acceptance, and the unexpected bonds that shape heroism.